Welcome to the 1 Minute Barber. My name is Michael Home, and in this video I'm going to show you a really easy way that you can cut the top of your own hair with clippers. All you're going to need is a comb, a set of clippers, a gown, and a nice big mirror like the mirror I've got behind me right here. You'll also notice the room I'm in is quite well lit, so if you've got a nice bright light bulb or a bright room, that's a great place to cut your own hair. This channel's all about barber tips and looking after your own hair. So if that's the sort of content that interests you, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the little bell so that you get notified whenever I put a new video out. So with that out of the way, let's get on with the cut. That's better. So I'm going to start right here near my crown, and I'm going to pick that up with my comb and pinch it between my fingers as best as I possibly can. Okay, and I can see that there's a little bit of long hair on this side here. So I'll get my clipper, switch it on with a closed blade, and just work straight across that. Now that's just cut that exactly as a scissor would, but it's far easier to go in with a clipper than a scissor. So I'm going to let that down, and I'm going to move forward just ever so slightly and pick up another section. So there we are. I can see there's a few long hairs there. And I've just done exactly the same thing as I did previously. So now I'm just going to move forward slightly again, right down the middle of the head again, and I'm going to take a little bit more off once more. Again, just comb over, work your way forward slightly more again. And I can see there's some dramatically longer hair there. So I'm going to make that slightly shorter with my clipper. That ties it into the section that I've just cut. And then again, I'm going to work my way forward in another section. You can see I keep working my way towards the front. What I do at the front is going to be slightly different, so keep your eyes on that. So this section at the front here, I'm going to over direct it back. That means I'm going to pull it back slightly, and that will keep the fringe longer when I cut it. So I've cut all the way down the middle from the front to the back. Now I need to do a similar thing on this side of the middle and then on the other side of the middle. Now we need to cut down this section here. Let's keep it organized, keep it in order, and do our sections one at a time. When I collect this in my fingers, I can see that there's some very long hair right there. So I'm going to cut that off first. That's giving me an indication of what I should be cutting. And I'm going to work my way forward. This time it's easier actually because we've got this short hair from the middle section, and it's easy to match up our sections that way. So this is far easier if you're using a cordless clipper. Having a cord on your clipper is such a hindrance. If you've got a set of cordless clippers, you'll notice how much easier it is. You don't need to spend a lot of money on cordless clippers. Now these clippers that I'm using, they're Andis Masters. They really are top quality clippers, but you don't need to go for the most expensive clipper that money will buy. So I'm over directing back here because I'm at the fringe again. So just lifting up and pulling back ever so slightly, and then I'm going to cut across, and that's going to keep it longer at the front. So we've done right down the middle, we've done this side, now we need to do this side. Okay, so I'm going to take a section right here, and you'll see that there's some very long hair and some short hair from the middle where I cut already. So what I want to do is take that long hair away. I'm using the middle as my guideline. And I'm just going to keep working my way forward. Now, often I get asked, should I have the blade open or closed when I do cuts like this? Well, you should have it closed. So when I say closed, I mean that the bottom blade is pulled back and these two blades are in alignment, not in the pushed forward position. So keep it closed. Your clipper cuts far better like that. I'm almost at the front again, so I'll cut this section and then I need to start thinking about over directing it back. So now I'm close to the front and I'm going to pick it up, but remember, rather than there, I'm just going to over direct it back ever so slightly. Now that I've done the bulk of the work on the top, I need to blend it in. And this is going to be such an easy method to blend in. Let me show you how it's done. You have a ridge on the side of your head, which I go on about all the time. This is the parietal ridge. So what we're going to do is just work straight down the way with the clipper on the parietal ridge. What I don't want you to do is start over here with the clipper and work your way down. I want you to start around about the ridge and just come straight down onto the bulk of the hair. Now I have a number 2, that's a 6mm guard set up on my Andis Master clipper. I'm closing the blade, I don't need to worry about working with an open blade. If your hair's longer, then start with maybe a 3 or a 4, depending on how long it is. So a picture speaks 1,000 words. I'll cut mine and you can follow along at the end. Straight away I can hear that it's cutting some hair. It's not cutting a lot, it's just taking the bulk that's sticking out off. I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to comb my fringe all over here because I don't want the fringe to be part of this blending in at the side, and I'm going to comb this down like that, okay? So I've removed the excess bulk from the other side as well now, and I'm totally happy with the sides and the top and the fringe. But I need to deal with the bit at the back of the head by the occipital bone, and I'm going to use the same method that I used there with the number 2, working my way down on the occipital bone. The occipital bone sticks out, there's a little ridge there, so we want to come down around about that area and trim it that way. So on my hair, you can see, because I had a skin fade last week, I've got this pronounced line here, and I'm gonna take that down with a 1.5 now because I feel like the 2 just didn't get quite short enough. I wouldn't recommend that you do this unless your hair is very short on the sides as well. still a little bit of a line. So I'm gonna go down to a number 1 now, and I'm gonna be very careful to work a lot lower than I did with the 1.5. So I've just finished my cut and I've styled it with a little bit of hair bond distorter. That's a professional hair clay. Now, you just put that into wet hair and dry it in. That's what I've done, and I've ruffled it up on top to have it kind of messy. You can wear your hair any way you want, but after you've cut it, I would advise try styling it to make sure that it's sitting the way that you want. If you did find that method difficult, click this video right here. That's a slightly easier method for cutting the top of your hair with clippers and keeping it long. I would love to see how your home haircuts are turning out. So if you want to show me, I'm on Instagram, it's the 1 Minute Barber, and you can use the hashtag 1 Minute Barber and I'll get to see everything that you're up to yourself. But listen, I want to wish you all the best of luck with your haircutting and see you guys next time.